Did you know that bats can hiss? I did not know that bats hiss until I encountered one on a cold night this winter. This bat turned me into a quivering, whimpering mess. And I want you to know that this is not my typical state. I like to think of myself as a strong, smart, independent woman like my mama raised me. But this bat turned me into a bowl of Jell-O. Now, I have a master's degree, I've traveled the world, I own my own hammer, but this bat turned me into a mess. So much so that I now refer to the night that we ran into the bat as the night of the bat. The night of the bat came after a long day, week, month, and year. I had just started a new job with the United States Department of Agriculture, and I was working long hours trying to learn the role. My husband, Sean, works for the Nebraska Unicameral and was slogging through the misery of late-night midwinter debates. We were both just grinding through. In addition to that, we had recently moved into Sean's childhood home, which means that we were sorting through his stuff and my stuff and family stuff, everything from a used big old hot tub to the ashes of the family cat. It was a lot, and I was feeling sort of taken for granted. The day of the night of the bat, I had spent in the garage, sorting through way too many garden implements and really an embarrassing number of CDs and DVDs for anyone to have in 2023. I was exhausted, so I went to take a shower, and Sean walked the few blocks down to the neighborhood bar to have a beer. I put myself to bed telling myself a sad sack little bedtime story about how I was taken for granted and how I did all the work around here and that I was a strong woman and I shouldn't have to do all the cleaning. So telling myself and singing myself my sad little lullaby, I went to sleep. I woke myself up screaming. I did not know that your body could scream without your brain's permission. I woke myself up screaming and whimpering and literally hiding and huddling under a blanket in my bedroom. And my stupid little Neanderthal brain was convinced that we were being attacked by a hairy flying monster, that we were imperiled and that our lives were in danger and that there was a dinosaur flying across the ceiling and coming to take us away. Finally, the rest of my nervous system woke up and flight or fight kicked in, and I did not fight. I flew, I flit, I flighted. I got out of there. So I finally sat down at the top of the stairs and tried to get myself together. And I said to myself, aren't I a strong, smart, independent woman? Can't I handle a bat? Should I go get my hammer? And the answer was no. No, I am not. No, I cannot handle this bat. So I watched the bat fly around the bedroom ceiling. And it occurred to me that what I was in fact a married woman. And I called my husband. And once my husband deciphered what the heck I was actually trying to say, he very kindly agreed to walk the few blocks home and help me out. Now, one of the things that I love about Sean is that he has the gift of command. He has broad shoulders and a big booming voice, and he knows how to enter a room. And when he came home, it was like he was walking in like a one-man army. He came charging down the stairs, armed with the top of the family toolbox, held in his hand like a shield. And he was wearing the buzz of inebriation from the bar like armor. And Sean, he charged down the stairs, and he went straight into the bedroom, and with a bang and a grunt and a thwack, he had that bat in a shoebox, duct tape closed. It was glorious. It was glorious. It was glorious. And I said something to him that I don't think I had ever said to him before. I said, "I'm so glad I married you." But my ordeal wasn't over. See, something else about Sean is that Sean knows things. And what Sean knew was that because I had been asleep when we discovered the bat, it was possible that that evil, vile little sucker had bit me with its gross little teeth while I was asleep. And so, he informed me, we had to take the bat in the duct tape shoebox to the public health department the next morning to be tested for rabies. So the morning after the night of the bat, I very bravely, I thought, put the bat and the shoebox on the passenger seat of my car, and I drove the two of us to the public health department. And very gingerly, I picked up the box to try to take us both inside. And that's when that little shit hissed at me. It hissed, and it writhed, and it made noises and grunting and tried to get out of the box. And so I threw the box on the ground, right? What else was I gonna do? So I stood there yelling at the box, and a very nice-looking gentleman made a wide berth around me in the parking lot because he didn't want to deal with the weird lady who was yelling at the shoebox. So again, I gathered myself together, and I picked up the shoebox, and I walked inside, and the very, very kind souls at the public health department calmly took my bat and agreed to test it for rabies. So later that day, I was able to go home and tell my husband that even though I had been feeling a little bit out of sorts, that I was very grateful to him for his bravery and his patience with me. And I was able to tell him, thanks to the nice people at the health department, that we didn't have bat rabies. I was also able to recognize that even though I am a strong, smart, independent woman, it was okay that I had learned to rely on my husband because he relied on me too for things like cleaning and keeping the house together. And so now, Sean and I, we have a deal. I always clean the downstairs bathroom, and Sean deals with any and all creepy and crawly, flying, crazy, flying, nasty critters and bats for as long as we both shall live. Thank you.